Some call Persona 5 Royal the definitive version of Persona 5, and that's a great thing as this is the version that Atlus has decided to give us on the Nintendo Switch. With that being said, you may now find yourself jumping into one of the best JRPGs ever created, and I'm sure that you have heard that this is easily a 100+ hour game. So let me make sure that I share some tips with you after playing Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal countless times, and most recently on the Nintendo Switch. What's going on? I am Dom from the Game Looters, and today my game and aim is to share with you 5 tips that are going to drastically help out your first-time adventure into being the best Phantom Thief that you can be. If these tips help you out or you think they will, hit us with a like and subscribe and come back for more awesome content. Alright, with that being said, let's jump into tip number 1, and I'm going to put what I think is the most important tip right at the top. The game is going to constantly remind you of this, but that is to use your time wisely. This in specific is to your social stats. Stats are really hard to get early on, and 2 of the stats that I deemed the hardest to get, especially late game, are Guts and Charm, which you're going to absolutely need to finish palaces. So do not waste any days. Make sure that you are min-maxing both of these social stats. As an FYI, there are some important confidants and story progression that will be tied into these specific social stats. So early on in the game, work on these. Some easy ways for you to know to improve Guts early on is to visit the bathhouse during rainy weather, watch movies, and read books that have specified Guts availability to it be increased. When it comes to Charm, ways to improve Charm is get a job, watch movies at the movie theater, focus on DVD rentals, games, retro games that you can play, and books that you can read. The rest of the social stats in the game, like kindness and knowledge, are pretty easy to get. This does include proficiency, as there's going to be some things you do naturally in the game that will just kind of get you to that elevated state. A bonus tip though, especially for knowledge, is make sure you're using the network. Of course, it's always awesome to see if you can guess the right answer, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you increase your knowledge fast. So there's no shame in using the network and the friends like me to help you answer those questions right. Tip number 2 is will seeds. Never ever skip these. You will find your introduction to will seeds early on in Kamoshida's palace, and for you to know early on now, there are 3 will seeds in each of the palaces. Please do your best to collect these. These are going to become crucial later on in the game when you meet a certain character. You're going to be able to trade, I guess you could say trade these in for really awesome items, and by collecting them all, you're going to get an amazing item that you wouldn't get otherwise. So make sure that you are collecting these will seeds as you explore palaces. The bonus to these will seeds is one of the most important things in the game, which is SP. Every time that you locate a will seed, your SP for your team and your party is going to be replenished. So if you find yourself low on SP, go search for that will seed because it will definitely help you out. That leads me into tip number 3, which is so important. SP is very important, so make sure that before you enter a palace that you are doing some of the things to get ready, that way you never run out of SP. Some things that you should be doing is making coffee, hitting up vending machines, buying items, and ensure that you are talking to the Dr. Takemi. In my personal experience, I enjoy doing this, exploring the palace to completion all the way up to being able to send the calling card, and then using all of my extra time that I have after exploring the dungeon to go and min-max all of my stats and confidants. Again, time is going to be really precious, and especially the way you use it can definitely change the way that you are able to approach the game and what you're able to get out of it. So as opposed to going back and forth from the palace to your every day-to-day life, stack up on SP as it will be your highest commodity. So to do this, if you run out of SP while exploring, you're going to be forced to leave. So instead, make sure that you are stacked up on all SP items for your party. That leads me into tip number 4, my friends. And I already mentioned this, but Tai Takemi is an awesome and amazing confidant. So tip number 4 is going to be that confidants are very important in this game, and Takemi is one of the most important. If you decide to not romance her, that is fine, but never miss an opportunity to level her up, because once she gets to rank 5, you will receive the ability to buy the SP adhesive, which is a really useful accessory. Once you have this accessory equipped, you'll be able to regain a small amount of SP after every turn in battle. For you to know, there are 3 versions of the SP adhesive, ranging from SP adhesive 1, 2, and 3. So once you can buy SP adhesive 3, which is my recommendation, is the most expensive one, this will set you back 100 grand. Once you get this, you're going to get the max amount of SP that you can get back after every battle. And trust me, it'll run out fast and you will need it. Since I mentioned confidants, this will lead me into the last tip. Make sure that you do your best to frequent the arcade and talk to anybody that you see around when you are traveling around the various locations in Persona 5 Royal. And when you see bubbles on top of characters, make sure that you go and talk to them. I don't want to spoil anything special in the game, so I will just say this. There are a few confidants that if you never interact with, you will miss out on completely. And trust me, you will need them. One of them, though, that I can tell you about without spoiling anything that you will meet early on is Kawakami. Kawakami is your homeroom teacher. Once her storyline becomes available, do it ASAP and rank her up as fast as you can. All I will say as a tip for this is use the yellow phone inside of the cafe. As the game goes on, she will give you the ability to skip class, make you coffee, she'll get you more SP, and she will do your laundry. So as you're exploring, you will continue to find a lot of sooty items. Well, she'll clean them right up for you. She'll also make you curry, which will get you more SP. And the best thing is when you need to explore mementos or a palace, this typically will take up 2 time slots. Instead, when Kawakami gets ranked up, this will end up only taking 1. I am telling you, this is a game changer. And this is definitely going to be the best way to maximize all the time that you will be taking in Persona 5 Royal. Alright, my Phantom Thieves, I hope this video helped you out, as well as some of these useful and helpful tips, and I hope this prepared you for the journey you're about to embark on. For those veterans in the video, make sure that you drop other non-spoiler tips for our new confidants in the comments below. My friends, I have been Dom from the Game Looters, and thank you so much for watching.